we're doing it. We're going through the Hot Topic crew themselves, the big bad heartless husk hosting as badass bosses. I love them, you love them, no need for a lot of preamble, so let's get to it. The thing with this list is that I only have 13 of these bastards to work with, and I really like a lot of them. The sad thing is that Square made about 5 really good characters, about 3 average ones, and another 5 frustrating ones. So this list is going to be going the Jello Apocalypse route of switching from one good to one bad until we hit the big dogs, at which point we will do the honorable mentions. Other than that, this list will be like every other in my wheelhouse. So without further ado, here's the top 6 best and worst Organization 13 members. Why top 6? Because there's good, there's bad, and then there's something in between.
Oh, my kingdom hearts. Ruined. No. I'll have to start all over again.
Kicking off our list is the Lord of Slow Talking himself, Zenoss. He overall is a tad boring to listen to when he drones on about the heart, and I swear he's dragging out his words so that he can think of the next intimidating thing he can say to our resident good boys. On the other hand, as the big bad of the big bads, he's an incredibly hard fight and overall intimidating force to deal with, and overcoming him is one of the best ways the series has ended a game. In fact, the only game in the series that has topped this boss battle yet is Dream Drop Distance, and even then, that ending has split the community in one way or another. You still suck, you brooms for eyebrows looking discount D&D reject. Zenoss. He's the first, but he's not number 1.
Show me how important.
Please.
So you really do care for her. In that case, the answer's no.
Call me crazy, but I just don't like this guy. He's always upset and just feels like he's over with whatever the rest of the Black Coat crew is doing. So he isn't fun to be around, and his boss fight feels like a berserk nobody and a gargoyle heartless had an angrier baby. Oh, and he made Sora cry and begged to see his friend, and then denied him his friend after said begging. Burn, you heretic! Sykes, I hate you!
Have you been a good boy?
Surprised he's on the best half of this list? You shouldn't be. It's hard not to like him. While in the Finding the Funny videos I did on the series, I gave the impression I didn't like him, but I do in some capacity. He's quick, he's funny, he can rock that ponytail, and has pretty damn good aim. And when he tells Sora to be a good boy and then asks him later if he's been a good boy, aw, man, my heart just melted. In fairness, he's not a badly designed character, and he's a bit of a wise ass, but damn it if I find him to be someone I forget about whenever he disappears. Xigbar, he cares, and that's all that matters.
The darkness of men's hearts, drawn to these cursed medallions, and this heartless, a veritable maelstrom of avarice. I wonder, are they worthy to serve Organization 13?
Luxord isn't as much as characters are concerned. He has precisely 2 modes, detached cynicism and dead. The only game he's appeared in so far just kinda has him popping up wherever the plot needs him to be. He shows up in Port Royale, curses Jack, sicks a heartless on us, and then we don't see him much until it's time for him to die, which admittedly has the best boss fight introduction I've ever seen.
I'd rather we just skip the formalities.
And he's also one of, if not the easiest organization members to fight in Kingdom Hearts 2. All you have to do to beat him is hit O's in his roulette game to run down his time, and when you get him down far enough, he has you do it in all 4 command slots. He has no actual health bar to speak of, it's just... and it's so easy to win those games that I did a no damage run of it by accident. He has little personality and a shit boss fight. Is it any wonder he's here?
Run away!
Going from one extreme to the other, Demyx has the best personality of the non-main cast male leads, along with the second best boss fight out of the lot. He makes me laugh quite a bit, and every time I see him, I feel like he's the closest to who he was when he was a somebody. He has fun and wants to do what he's told, but also doesn't want to die, and thus is afraid to fight the best boy in the known universe. His boss fight is also a big reason to why I love him so much. This fight is infamous for being an incredibly high spike in difficulty, and at first is, but when you learn his patterns and that he always does a mid-air retaliation after being comboed, he becomes a real fight that you learn to deal with and feel satisfied when you win, and then feel like shit for killing the second best bad boy. You monster. I'm sorry he's not in my top 3.
Don't be mad.
Demyx. Scoldingly hard fight, but someone who is fun as hell to watch.
When Kingdom Hearts is ours, we can exist fully and completely. So you see, Beast, that's why we need your Heartless and your Nobody.
I never thought I'd hate the air itself until I met this shitheel. Zoldan has the personality of paper and is about as interesting to watch as ink dry on said paper. There's no two ways about this. He manipulates the easiest protagonist in Disney's canon by saying the girl he imprisoned is trying to steal his rose, which the game treats as his whoopee for some odd fucking reason. Okay, first of all, why would Belle want the rose? She doesn't even know what it does or that it exists, as shown in the return visit to the castle. Second, Beast would have ripped him to shreds the second he entered the castle and for even trying to badmouth the girl he's in love with. And third, and most importantly, fuck whoever designed this shitty-ass boss fight to take place on a narrow bridge rather than in the courtyard with way more range for the abilities both Zoldan and Sora have. Jesus, this fight sucks. And yes, I'm aware all you have to do is block an attack, mash triangle, then mash X to win the fight, but god damn it, that area is too damn narrow.
Axel, what were you trying to do?
I wanted to see Roxas. He was the only one I liked. He made me feel like I had a heart. It's kind of funny. You make me feel the same.
Here we have the teen's resident flamer, and ooh man do I love this boy. I think he's so sweet and kind and overall just a fun time to be around. His boss fight is a bit too simple, but that's because it's like the third or fourth boss fight in the game depending on how you count it. The arena is much better setup wise, seeing as it's small enough for two people to have a one-on-one encounter while also not being able to be button mashed. Seeing as you need to deal damage to him to trigger the reaction command that leads into the lava he spits out on the floor to be dispersed, so that you can combo him into oblivion. When it comes to Axel, the word detached comes to mind, because that's how he acts 99% of the time you meet him. And then when he breaks away from that persona, you realize that he really did love Roxas, and that those ice creams and time spent talking and getting to know one another is more valuable to him than he might have initially thought. Also, how he starts the fight is perfect to me.
Simply amazing, Roxas.
Axel.
You really do remember me this time. I'm so flattered!
In this organization, you're number 11. I'm number 4, and I will not have you!
I've been entrusted this castle and Namine by our leader. Defying me will be seen as treason against the organization.
What's that saying? When the guy who tries to overthrow a group of people is then becoming the thing he wanted to get away from? Well, to me that says he's a power-greedy whore who doesn't know his place and is just trying to lash out from his monotone boss. I can't even say anything about this boss fight. If you fight him at a high enough level and don't touch the black goo, then you can beat him no problem. Sure, you'll get hit a lot, but it's not like it means a whole lot when you can avoid one attack and get more hits on the counter that imitates your level at the start of the match. And for all of you who are gonna bring up Chain of Memories, I have 2 words for you. Sonic Blade. I also just think his personality is the broodiest edgelord. Marluxia, or Marluxia, whatever you want to go with. Just go, drunk man. You're home.
You're lucky. Looks like my summer vacation is over.
What? Roxas is at the top of an Organization 13 list? What are the fucking odds? Wait, no, don't tell me the odds. I'll get too depressed. When it comes to Roxas, I like his overall vibe. Like, yeah, he's a bit too angry, but I can't really get mad at him seeing as his whole life people have either treated him like a tool, an other, or something to be eliminated for the sake of humanity. So much so, he was locked in a digital world so that, when the time was right, my precious son could awaken from his slumber and kick the faces of evil in the face with positivity! But Roxas didn't do anything wrong, so him getting treated that way isn't really warranted. But hey, we have to make way for the real stars here. I'm sorry, honey, I know it hurts. However, that boss fight is so perfect and so fun that I often play it on repeat for hours just so I can get that rush from fighting such a good opponent. Roxas and admittedly all the data fights in Kingdom Hearts 2 were designed later in life, so the devs had more time and higher grade tech, so the fight has more mechanics and overall smarter AI to work with. So this fight feels like a real duel based on how a real person would go about trying to kill his other half. And Roxas, man, you sure do make a good other to a resident good boy. Before I get to my number 1s, here are the 3 odd ones out. Look, I'll be honest here, he's annoying, a bit of an ass, but if you have enough ethers or fire cards, he is way too easy to take down. Plus his voice acting is pretty good. He only gets outclassed by one person in that game, so... This one is pretty simple, seeing as she was so damn useless that she was deleted and forgotten by everyone and everything she ever came into contact with. You don't get more pointless than that. His name is funny for one, and along with that a pacifism ideology, mainly fighting you with books rather than hand-to-hand combat. He seems like a nice guy who just wants to be whole again, and this is reinforced by him being in contact with Sora and co in Kingdom Hearts 3. Alrighty, now for the big ones.
You're finished!
Don't mock me! You were too much trouble.
I literally know nothing about him other than he was a castle guard and he's angry a lot. Like, seriously, he's a bruiser that has a fight that is reminiscent of Dragon Ball Z and likes to throw you into a pillar and then follows that up with a triple rock tomb. I mean, holy crap, is this just lazy? I will say this in his defense. At least he was in the good half of Chain of Memories. Lexaeus. So poorly designed, I forgot he was even a character.
And you obviously are the hero, so you have to go save her. Although... I'm a bad guy, so you have to go through me.
Rounding out our list is the resident shocker of the group, Miss Lightning herself, Lark. Whoo Oh boy, where do I begin with this girl? She's the only female member that isn't forgotten by everyone, and she shouldn't be by anyone. I love her personality, along with her bonkers crazy delivery. All of that makes her a really interesting character to go up against. She taunts Sora, is cruel to Naminé, chides Axel for his interest in Sora, and treats the Republica like a toy. And man, it's the most interesting part of that game. No joke, she's number one solely based on the fact that she made a shit game better by simply being there and giving zero fucks. Her boss fight is pretty alright, if not a bit cathartic seeing as you can't spam lightning at her, and that it's like the devs knew we'd be doing that to all the Heartless, and it's their revenge in one way or another. Lark scene. So fun, so loud, so damn charming that I get shocked whenever she enters the room. Well, there you have it. The way the organization is ranked in my mind. This list was a bit of a challenge, seeing as unlike other topics, there aren't a multitude of things to cover. There's only 14 of them. So I had to use everyone and really think of where they fall and why I think that. I hope I did your faves justice. My name is Chris, and hot damn I want one of those coats.